Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, how are you? Okay, welcome back again with me, Siti Aisyah Komala Rahmi. Today we are going to learn about new material that is about suggesting and offering. Okay, please take a look at these two pictures. Have you ever been in these situations before? What would you do? Or what would you say? Okay, we are going to learn about suggesting. So, what is suggesting? Suggest means to give a suggestions, that is to introduce or propose an idea or a plan for someone's consideration. Dapat disimpulkan bahwa saran adalah ekspresi untuk mengungkapkan ide ataupun rencana kepada seseorang. The social function of suggesting is to facilitate interpersonal communication between different people. Di sini jelas dikatakan bahwa fungsi sosial dari ungkapan menyarankan adalah memfasilitasi hubungan komunikasi antara beberapa orang yang berbeda. Next. Suggestions are abstract and can be in form of solutions, advice, plan, and idea. Please note, suggestion can be accepted or refused. For example, let's go to the library. Why don't you do your homework before going out? We could eat at home today. What about eating at a new place? How about going to Sam's place first? I suggest that we call it a day. You need to change your sleeping habits. I think you should go and meet her. Next, responding to suggestions. Please note, suggestions can be accepted or refused. Please take a look at this example. Let's go to the movie. If you accept the suggestion, you can say yes, let's go. But if you refuse it, you can say no, thank you. I do not feel like go. The second example, why don't you do your homework before going out? If you accept the suggestion, you can say okay, I will. But if you refuse the suggestion, you can say, sorry, I think I will go out first and do my homework. Next, how about going to Sam's place first and then to the supermarket? If you accept the suggestion, you can say, yes, let's go. It's a good idea. But if you refuse it, you can say, no, let's just go to the supermarket. Next, when making a suggestion, we often use the following expressions. Okay, please pay attention to the grammar. First, you can use let's plus verb 1. For example, let's have lunch in the canteen. Or let's cook our meal. Okay, let's plus verb 1. Next, you can use why don't plus a clause. For example, why don't we go to the beach? Or why don't you call her first? Next, we can also use we could plus verb 1. For example, we could buy some books there. We could stay there for a while. A gerund can be used in making suggestions. For example, what about plus verb ing or gerund? What about playing some musical instrument? What about swimming in a pool? How about it just look like what about? Yeah, it's also followed by gerund. For example, how about watching Korean drama in Netflix? How about spending some nights in Novotel? Making suggestion, you can use suggest or recommend. That is followed by a clause. For example, I suggest that you work hard. I recommend that she must study harder. You can use I think plus a clause. For example, I think I will choose her. Or I think he will go abroad. Besides that, you can also use I don't think plus a clause. For example, I don't think she will marry soon. Do you get the point? Or do you already understand? Okay, next. We are going to learn about offering. Okay, so what is offering? Offer means to give something physical or abstract to someone, which can be taken as a gift or a trade. Kalau di pertama tadi adalah menyarankan, sekarang adalah menawarkan. Menawarkan bisa berarti memberikan sesuatu dalam bentuk fisik ataupun secara abstrak kepada seseorang yang bisa berupa gift, hadiah, atau pertukaran. Social function of offering is the same like as suggesting, is to facilitate interpersonal communication between different people. Okay, offering can be given in terms of food, money, solution, friendship, or a bargain. It can be take or refused. Please note it. Penawaran dapat diberikan dalam bentuk makanan, uang, solusi, persahabatan, ataupun pertukaran. Sekali lagi, tolong dicatat, menawarkan bisa juga diterima ataupun ditolak. For example, may I give you a hand? Can I help you? Shall I bring you something? Would you like another piece of cake? How about I help you with this? Can I clean the car for you? Shall I help you with your homework? I will do the washing if you like. Okay, please take a look how to respond an offer. Can I help you? If you accept, you can say yes, please, or I really appreciate it. But if you decline the offer, you can say it's okay, I can do it by myself. Next, shall I bring you something? If you accept it, you can say thank you, it's very kind of you. But if you refuse it, you can say no thanks, that's enough. Or how about I help you with this? If you accept it, yes please, would you be very kind of you. But if you refuse it, you can say don't worry, I will do it myself. Okay, you can see some example how to respond the offer. But remember, if you accept it or refuse it, the offer, you have to always say thank you. Okay, next, when making offers, we often use the following expression. Okay, number one is may I plus verb 1. For example, may I give you a hand? Okay. Next, can I plus verb 1. For example, can I help you? Next, shall plus verb 1. For example, shall I bring you your stuff? Or you can use how about plus clause. For example, how about I help you? Or you also can use would you plus verb 1. For example, would you like some tea? Okay, don't forget to practice it. Okay, it won't that hard, it won't be difficult. Okay, to understand better the material, please watch this video.
In this video, we're learning how to make suggestions and offer different things in English. Dan, what shall we do this weekend? I don't know, the forecast says it will be bright and dry on Saturday. But it may rain on Sunday. We could go for a picnic to the lake. And if the weather gets worse, we might go back to town to spend the evening at home watching TV. Going to the lake sounds great, I'm up for it. But I'm not sure about watching TV on Sunday evening, it is boring. I'd rather go shopping or watch a film at the cinema. Sounds good to me. How about inviting Jack and Mary? They could join us. Yes, let's do that. Dan, what shall we do this weekend? We use the modal verb shall when we ask for a suggestion. More examples. Where shall we go on holiday? Shall we stay home tonight? We could go for a picnic to the lake. We use the modal verb could or might when we are making a suggestion. Repeat after me. They could join us later. We might go to Prague together. Sounds good to me. How about inviting Jack and Mary? To make a suggestion, we also use questions with how about and what about. We say how about or what about something or someone, and how about or what about doing something. For example, how about the cinema? What about the cinema? How about going to the cinema? What about going to the cinema? So what's the difference between how about and what about? Using how about, we sound more sure in relation to our suggestion, and what about sounds less sure. The second important thing is that we use both how about and what about to make a suggestion, but only what about to make an objection. So let's take a look at an example of an objection. We are leaving now, but what about me? I don't want to stay here alone. The person who's saying, I don't want to stay here alone, is not happy with the fact, and he's making an objection. Yes, let's do that. One more way to make a suggestion is to use let us or the short form let's. Repeat after me. Let's visit Colombia next year. Let's invite them to the party. Going to the lake sounds great, I'm up for it. If you agree with a suggestion, you can use one of the following phrases. Sounds great, sounds good to me, I'm up for it, which is quite colloquial or even slang. It's a good idea. Let's do that. Okay, fine. More examples. Let's visit Colombia next year. It's a great idea. Let's invite them to the party. Sounds good to me. But I'm not sure about watching TV on Sunday evening. It is boring. When you disagree with a suggestion, you can use the following phrases. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's a good idea. You had better not, or we had better not, but you can more often hear the short form of this phrase. You'd better not, we'd better not. More examples. Let's call him now. I'm not sure about that. How about inviting them to the party? We'd better not. I'd rather go shopping or watch a film at the cinema. And if you disagree with a suggestion, you can suggest an alternative or express your preference. And you can use the following. I prefer, I would rather, and the short form, I'd rather. We had better, or we'd better. So I'd rather means the same as I prefer, and we'd better is the same as we should. Let's go shopping tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. I'd rather stay at home, or I prefer to stay at home. Please pay attention that when we use prefer, we use the to infinitive, but when we use I'd rather or we'd rather, we use the bare infinitive. And the second dialogue. We could stay here for the night. I don't know. We'd better find a better place. So you see that the person is not happy with the idea and he's making a recommendation. So how to report other people's suggestions? What is Dan saying? We could go for a picnic to the lake. So Dan suggested going to the lake or going for a picnic to the lake. So we use the gerund after the verb suggest, and we never use the to infinitive after suggest. So you cannot say Dan suggested to go to the lake. It's wrong. Another variant is to use the modal verb should or bare infinitive without to. For example, Dan suggested that they should go to the lake, or Dan suggested that they go to the lake. So what is the difference between a suggestion and an offer? When you suggest something, you express some idea or give advice for consideration, and then a decision is made. Sometimes it's a common decision. So Dan suggested going to the lake, and his friend agreed. But offering something, you're asking if someone would like something or would like to do something. So look at Jane. She says, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" So she offered him a cup of coffee. The verb offer also has the meaning of provide an opportunity to do something, and the other person can either accept this opportunity or reject it. And one more important thing is how we use verbals after these verbs, so how we express an action. Repeat after me. He suggested going to the lake. He suggested that they should go to the lake. He suggested that they go to the lake. So, after the verb suggest, we use the gerund, the modal verb should, or the bare infinitive, which is the infinitive without to. What about offer? Repeat after me. She offered to help him with the homework. He offered to give me a ride. So, after the verb offer, we use the infinitive with to.